Very busy in the city of Battle Creek. It's summertime after all, and so a lot of things going on right now. City Manager Rebecca Fleury is here. Good morning.
Good morning, Richard.
Assistant City Manager Ted Deering. Good morning, sir. And Jessica Vanderkolk is here, Communications Manager, I should say, in the city of Battle Creek. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Is there anybody left in the office?
Yes, this is only half.
Oh, okay, just checking. You were talking about Spider-Man there as we were bridging with the headlines. Did anybody go this weekend to see that?
No.
I would definitely go, but I'm waiting for the crowds to thin a little bit.
Waiting for the crowds to thin. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Well, we have a busy stretch here. First of all, let's talk about City Fair. Let's talk about the fun stuff. What is City Fair?
Oh, it's so exciting. So this is our second annual City Fair.
Yeah.
And it's something we've put together as an opportunity for everybody to come out, get to know our departments a little better, meet a lot of our staff who come down, get lots of information about what we're doing, and just kind of hang out with us for the morning.
Mm-hmm. This helps put faces with names, I presume, Rebecca, when it comes to the city. I mean, a lot of folks, we go about our daily routines, and we know you're there, but maybe we don't come face-to-face with you that much.
Absolutely. We have 519 tremendous employees at the city of Battle Creek, and this is a chance for us to kind of showcase to all of our residents what we do for them. We hope they come down, interact with the staff, see all the cool equipment that we use on a daily basis that maybe they're not used to, and just connect with the community that serves them.
And the whole notion of a fair makes it sound like there's a Ferris wheel or something. Is that part of it too?
Wish. I don't think we can fit one downtown.
Yeah, okay.
No Ferris wheel, but there's fun things to do at each table.
Okay.
So I think you'll find a lot of interesting and exciting things to visit.
So when they came to this last year, what did you find they were most interested in knowing? Were there certain things people were asking about, or what would they come armed to talk about?
I would say, usually police and fire get a lot of traffic, but we had a lot of fun with Parks and Rec and their golf game. And a lot of people stop by, you never think this, but engineering and the traffic signals, because it's very interesting to see how all the traffic signals are computerized, how they work. So that was very interactive, as well as to see how hydrants work. And so we've got some exciting things around fire hydrants as well this year.
How interesting. These are things that we just take for granted. They're there. We don't know how they work, but that they're there, and we're glad they are. This is an education to learn these things.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And as Rebecca alluded to, we're going to give people a little bit even more education this year. We have our water division crew who is going to assemble a hydrant really quickly for us at 10 o'clock. Yes, it is part of a competition they have at their professional conferences, Hydrant Hysteria. So we want everyone to come and join the hysteria and watch how awesome they are. They are state champions.
There's a competition for this?
Yeah, absolutely. State and national. Gosh. So they're just coming back from their national competition where I think they took seventh in the nation for how quickly they can assemble a fire hydrant.
Right.
So there's somehow a water line, and they just have to do the rest.
Right.
Absolutely.
Wow. Okay. So City Fair is when?
It is this Wednesday, July 12th. From 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. We're right in line with the farmers market, so you can grab lunch when you come down and visit with us.
Oh.
And everyone should know that looking at that forecast and hearing what played earlier this morning, we do have a rain location. We will be inside Kellogg Arena, right adjacent to Festival Market Square. So if you don't see us outside, please come in.
Right. So good to have that backup plan. See, National Weather Service says 60% chance at showers and thunderstorms, but I don't know, maybe if we take a big breath and all exhale at the same time, it'll be diverted or something. I don't know.
That's my hope.
Try that. All right. So that's this Wednesday, 9 until 1, downtown. All right. So speaking of downtown, Ted Deering, you have said a few times since we've been meeting that this is a big year, and it really has been already, hasn't it, for downtown development?
Yeah, it has been. I think we feel really good about where we are downtown. A couple of major projects that we've been working on for a while at both McCamley and Heritage Tower continue to progress. We've got a couple of other big projects that are in that time-consuming financing stage, but they're out there, and that creates some momentum, and it creates a little bit of confidence, which draws investment, which is always a good thing. And we've tried a couple of quality of life initiatives in the downtown this year, too. We've got a kayaking thing going on Thursdays from 11 to 2 that's been very popular, and the commission just put in place some regulations for quadricycles so that we could run what we affectionately refer to as the pedal pub downtown.
Yeah.
They've had a couple of, last Friday they were down there, as a matter of fact, working with Raffinets on dinner tours. So, that creates vibrancy and enthusiasm and momentum for the downtown.
Every time I'm in a kayak, I feel like I'm going to tip over, but I know there's people who are much better than I at that, and it's hugely popular, so that's fun. There, of course, there was a reported story about the group that's working on Heritage, and they had some restructuring and so on. Was that a nerve-wracking thing for any of us, or was this just the way the ball bounces sometimes?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it nerve-wracking because it happened over a long period of time.
Yeah.
We just anticipated, I think, with a project like this. I think last time that we were in here, we talked about the fact that, there's always going to be a few challenges, just around the corner with a project like this.
Right.
But, the relationship that we've had here with the city has been with the developer who's managing the project at this point from the very beginning. So for us, it was fairly smooth, I think a comfortable transition. Again, we wouldn't say we're home free on any project of this scale, but we certainly feel good about the direction that it's headed.
Did anything change with that change as far as the intent for the tower?
No, actually, the scope of the project didn't change a bit, and neither did the timeline.
Okay, so where are we today with this?
Well, we've been doing some remediation work in the building.
Big project.
Which is a key first step, obviously. They're going to do a little roof work here soon, too, because once the remediation work is complete, they want to secure the building envelope, obviously, so we don't take any steps backwards from this point. Most of the key pieces of the financing are in place, but everybody's got a sign on the bottom line. And they're still talking about, a fall construction start, but they're going to work backward from whatever date they deem is the most advantageous in terms of putting units on the market.
Okay.
But we still, I think, expect probably a fall start.
So, Rebecca, when you go and visit with other city managers from other places, and maybe it's regional, so they have an ear to what's happening here, do they say, hey, sounds good over there? We get the impression this is what we need, so I asked that question. Is that the response?
They absolutely do. Again, it's you build those momentum pieces, and that word gets out. Now that people see that the pieces are falling in place for McCamley and for Heritage, that brings other people out to say, what other buildings does Battle Creek have? And I think that we call it the pedal pub. Yeah. I think that has done more to generate conversation about Battle Creek, and that we're open to fun, but also to try new things, because I think our surrounding jurisdictions have not put something like that in place, so we're willing to give it a try. And we've got two beautiful rivers. We should have probably been kayaking a long time ago, but now that we have this program, people are wondering, can we make it longer? Can we do more days? The fly fishing is starting to catch on. So what we're doing is, as Ted said, is that we're building on the quality of life as well as increasing the investment in Battle Creek. And that does get out. That makes other city managers excited. That certainly makes our residents excited. It doubly makes our commissioners excited about everything that's happening.
Let's talk about this pedal pub thing for a minute. This really is a pub on wheels, and you get on and pedal it?
Yes, it really is. It's a quadricycle, and I think you get 8 to 10 people on board, and then you have a conductor.
Okay.
And he's kind of your tour guide. He is the one that certainly is not partaking in any alcoholic beverages. He's in charge of, his chargees on the pedal pub. But it is a great way to have fun. You're actually getting exercise while you do it. And so it has just created a whole bunch of excitement downtown. The restaurants are all getting on board, and it's a private company. This is not the city doesn't own the quadricycle. It's a private company.
Yeah.
And so restaurants have been kind of engaging the quadricycle or the pedal pub to just offer some fun to their guests. And boy, they are having fun. If you haven't seen it, it's got lights and there's all kinds of excitement. It's going down, up and down the streets. It's fun.
So how does this work? Here I go and getting into the details. But how does this work liquor license-wise? Because, when there's a fair or something, sometimes you have a liquor license for this spot that doesn't move and it's blocked in. And so how do you have a liquor license for something that moves around town?
Yeah, and you can really only use the pedal pub from a liquor or from an alcohol point of view with folks that have an off-premise license. So if you've got the ability to sell off-premises, and some of our downtown restaurants actually do, they have that as a component of their license, then you can transport it closed to the pedal pub. You have to consume it at the pedal pub because you can't take it off and walk with an open container.
Yep.
But it works out fairly well. So obviously your average store that would have an off-premise license, you could buy and bring your own booze in this case, or a restaurant that would have that component to their license.
Okay, so that's how that works. So when does this run?
Well, we've engaged them to run on Wednesdays during the summer, essentially during the farmer market at lunchtime.
Yep.
And then we'll expand that if we can as resources become available. And then it just is a matter of what the private owner of the pub decides makes sense for them to make a run, or if they've got some type of a partnership or a contract with a local provider.
Okay. Very good. All right, so downtown development, we're still feeling good about that. Was announced last week, I think, that Kim Carter, the superintendent, is now on the DDA board. What does that bring when the school superintendent has a voice in that?
Well, I think as we've all been talking about, investment in the downtown is really important, but pairing that with the quality of life issues is even more important. And the school district most definitely brings that added piece. We need a vibrant, healthy school district. And, in the city, we have two. And so I think the school being part of the Downtown Development Authority just helps bring another voice. What are they hearing from their student population and the parent population as far as what they're looking for, what they're hearing from their teachers? Really, we would love to see a lot more teachers live in the city and live, work, and play in the city. And so we need to get that input from, and it's great to get it from the superintendent, about how we can partner what we're doing with what they're hearing so that we're all working together to make a great Battle Creek, because we do all believe in Battle Creek, Richard.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay, so any big announcements coming, Ted?
Yeah, put Ted on the spot.
Not that I can necessarily share at this point, but we are, again, as you create a little bit of momentum, then people start to reach out to you. And we are starting to see folks coming up with ideas that we didn't necessarily try to incubate. That's the private sector taking over. And that's ultimately where we want to be. We want the private sector, we want the market to step in because they have confidence in Battle Creek to invest. And I think that we're getting to that critical tipping point.
And I think, too, it's important for us to know that, the downtown is really important to us, but we are focusing our energies and resources all over the city. So our commercial corridors, Old Lakeview, Dickman Road, Columbia Road, Beckley Road, all of those areas are seeing what I see as a resurgence of interest. A lot of ideas being thrown around. Love to be able to share some of those when we have some concrete announcements to be able to make. But we are excited in what we're hearing and seeing for all of those areas, in addition to the downtown.
All right. Well, the invitation is open. When you're ready, we're ready to hear it.
Thank you, Richard.
All right, Jessica. So City Fair on Wednesday.
Yes, it's on Wednesday, 9 in the morning until 1 o'clock. So grab lunch at the farmer's market. We're at Festival Market Square in the big open space, unless the 60% chance of rain comes through, in which case we'll be inside Kellogg Arena. So people can find us there, rain or shine.
All right. And if you, in the process of the morning, change your plans from one to the other, feel free to call us and tell us, and we'll make sure folks know about that.
We will do that. Thank you.
All right. Thanks to you all for the update.
Thanks, Richard.
All right. Talk to you again soon.